Hello, it's Darren Moor from the How to Survive Your Police Career website. Today's podcast is only a short one, and it's intended as a quick introduction to our main health book, the original How to Survive Your Police Career, that the website developed from. So, what's the book about? What stuff do we cover? And why should you buy it? Well, it's all about health for police officers and frontline staff, both male and female, and it provides information and answers to all those usual problems when doing this bizarre job. Things like eating and sleeping around shifts, fitness, injury recovery, mental health and trauma, how to avoid infections big and small when dealing with the world's muckiest people, how to keep our immune system in great shape, cancer, how to avoid it, and much, much more. And it's written by me as a retired police sergeant who'd done 30 years of frontline service, and all of it on earlys, lates and nights, either on patrol or tactical team, and I also done 10 years on ARVs as a firearms officer. In fact, I was still working 24/7 as a response skipper right up to my last day of service, so hopefully I know what I'm talking about when I offer you advice. The book provides lots of information, but in a really humorous way, because that's how bobbies work, don't they? Seeing the funny side of everything. And we break down a lot of complex stuff into easy to understand chunks. A running theme in the book is how all the main subject areas, sleep, nutrition, exercise, infection and stress, are interlinked. If you're let down by one, it's got a nasty habit of affecting the others. So, rotten sleep, for example, affects your stress levels and encourages poor eating, while good exercise, on the other hand, can boost your immune system, which helps you avoid infection, that type of thing. I call it in the book, in homage to the national decision model, the circle of good bobby health. Yeah, cheesy I know, but it's a great way of getting the point across, as we keep spinning the wheel to demonstrate those connections. But we talk about a lot of other subjects as well. Returning to fitness for a moment, everything you'd ever wanted to know about injury prevention and recovery with one of the only police-employed physios in the country, Mark Heffernan, an absolute expert on police physical fitness. And everything as well about police mental health, including reactions to trauma, with retired inspector and mental health counsellor Wayne Goodwin. How to combine food with exercise for best results. Relationship advice, especially on late turn, when it all tends to go wrong. Female and ethnic health. Bad dreams. Relaxation techniques. Keeping hydrated when you spend your whole life wearing black polyester and body armour. Choosing a diet that's good for the long term, and the short term as well. Caffeine and booze, those police officers' friends. Hemorrhoids, which aren't very friendly at all. What your poo and your piddle should look like. How bobbies need to be aware of those big bad infections like Hep C, HIV, meningitis, and especially sepsis, because sepsis can kill you out of nowhere. And avoid those minor contact infections like neurovirus that plague stations every winter and cause absolute havoc on teams. Oh, and just for the fun of it, we even talk about STIs. And we look at cancer. What causes it? Is there anything we can do to avoid it? And the classic early signs that we need to be watching out for. And also, those diseases, and as it turns out there's a lot of them, where fatigue is a sign or symptom, but bobbies often don't pick up on it because they're always so knackered anyway through doing shifts that they just look upon fatigue as normal, and so are at risk of having some horrible disease, properly getting a grip of them before it's diagnosed. And we discuss building fires, explaining with graphic detail why entering that building, brave though it is, might just be the worst possible thing to do. And not only for you, but also that person you were hoping to save. And water safety as well. Why going into the water might not be a good idea either. In both cases, we give you some smarter solutions that can be just as effective. And what else have we got? Well, we've got food poisoning, how to avoid it. Looking after your eyesight, all that time staring at computer screens doing those case files. And even teeth care, how to avoid those big dental bills as you get older. And dog attacks. And acid attacks, advice for both. Safe social media use, being as poor use, as we all know, is the easiest way these days not to survive your police career. And just to demonstrate that it's not all bad news, we also talk about that most important subject of all, happiness. We look at some great research which suggests ways in which we can all be happier, whatever our circumstances. So yeah, there's loads of stuff in the book, as you can see. It's nearly 400 pages long and it's intended as the ultimate police health manual. In fact, if you read it and think that there's something missing, then just let me know, because that subject might just find itself in the next edition. The book's available as ebook or hardback via the link on our website, howtosurviveyourpolicecareer.com. Oh, and buy off the website if you can. That way, at least we know that someone's paying tax in the UK. And talking of the website, you'll find there loads more podcasts and articles about police health and welfare. Check out the one suggesting a new and novel way of dealing with people who are desperately trying to wind you up. It's a delight. And also details about my other police books in the How to Survive series. We've got the one for new officers straight out of training school, How to Survive Your Early Years as a Police Officer, all the top tips to avoid disaster during those early years. And another one written for your partner, How to Survive Your Relationship with a Police Officer, advising them how to survive their relationship with you, bearing in mind this peculiar job of yours and all the grief that it brings home with it. Anyhow, I hope you enjoy the book. And remember, we're always keen to work with anyone on creating an app or other materials for getting our advice out to officers and staff. Maybe downloading the books to your troops' work phones so they can access the information whenever they want. Or we could provide podcasts on particular subjects if you like. Anything is possible, so just get in touch. But that's enough for today. Thanks again for listening. Please share this podcast with others and like it and do all those other social media things you're supposed to do. And until next time, from How to Survive Your Police Career, stay safe and be lucky. Bye-bye. Oh, and I should have said, buy the book as well. It might just make all the difference.